Some breaking news out of President Biden just a short time ago, and a little bit of a bone to pick right here in this video. Let's get right into it. But if you're new here, or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video. Information continues to change very rapidly right now. I'm doing all the research and breaking it down so that you can stay updated every single day with everything going on out there during this very busy and confusing time. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into the updates. All right, so let me quickly talk through what President Biden just came out a short time ago announcing, and then of course, let's talk about this a little bit further, as we may have a little bit of a bone to pick right here. All right, so first off, President Biden just came out a short time ago extending out the pause on federal student loan payments. Now, as of right now, these payments were supposed to start in about 3.5 weeks at the beginning of May. Now, those payments have been on pause for about 2 years. Actually, over 2 years now, federal student loan payments have been paused. So those people who have these payments, which by the way, are about 43 million people out there who have an outstanding balance of $1.7 trillion of federal student loans. However, these payments have been paused for over 2 years now, and they were supposed to be resuming in early May. However, the president was just out a short time ago extending out the pause on those federal student loan payments until the end of August 31st. So technically, I guess the new payments will be starting as of September 1st. So quite a few more months out from where we currently are right now. Now, this is going to be going forward, and this is a real thing. The president just announced this a short time ago, and the justification behind this is, according to a report out of the Federal Reserve, that restarting payments starting on May 1st or in early May would actually lead to significant economic hardship for millions of borrowers. Now, don't get me wrong, I completely understand. There's a lot of people out there who are having a tough time right now financially, and restarting these payments probably would not be would not be a really good thing for a lot of people. It'd be pretty tough for a lot of people, right? So essentially starting like a mortgage payment that hasn't been due for a couple of years now, all of a sudden it'd be essentially like paying on a mortgage every single month. Well, that'd be a tough situation right now. However, here's the situation that we're in. Okay, yes, for the 43 million federal student loan borrowers, this is great news, right? Once again, they kicked the can down the road, and as we know, there's a lot of progressive Democrats in the House of Representatives, and there's a number of different senators who are currently working on pushing the president to actually cancel $50,000 of federal student loans. So, the longer that they can continue to get the president to continue kicking this down the road and just extending out the pause on payments is like a huge win for them, right? Because it's the more time that they can continue to massage the president to finally get him to cancel these federal student loans. $50,000 per borrower. And again, for 43 million people, that's a lot of money that we're talking about. And I do know that there are some of you right here in this community that actually do have these federal student loans. I've seen your comments down below saying, if they could cancel them or just continue to delay the payments, this would be a great thing. I simply don't have the money to do this right now. Now, this is a really good thing for those 43 million people. That's a great thing. Very encouraging, very exciting. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are feeling pretty excited these days, especially here with this report and the newest information out of the president here just in the last little while now. This is a great thing. This is very exciting for a lot of people. However, I want to pick a little bit of bone with this thing simply because I want to say this much. And again, I have nothing against the federal student loan borrowers. I'm simply saying this is a great thing for you. But according to the report that President Biden just cited in this announcement, saying the Federal Reserve has said restarting these federal student loan payments would put a significant economic hardship on these millions of borrowers. Okay, how about all the other millions of people out there who are still struggling right now as a result of everything going on? Oh, which, by the way, I forgot to tell you, the president cited that the extension of the federal student loan payment repayment program is because of the COVID situation. Like, seriously? So it's the COVID situation that they're using for the justification to say that they need to continue to push out these repayment process for these federal student loans. And again, I have nothing against these federal student loan borrowers. This is great for you. But my point is, if they're still using COVID as the main justification and excuse for why these payments need to be canceled, What about all the millions of people out there who are struggling right now, again, because of the COVID situation, right? This is what led to essentially everything going on right now with the massive inflation that we're experiencing, all of the supply chain issues, basically everybody's income not keeping up with everything right now. And that is the justification they continue to lean back on right now with all of these announcements. Okay, if that's the case, then why are we having these conversations with so many people still struggling and them doing absolutely nothing? Do you get what I'm saying here with all this? It is so incredibly frustrating to me to see that on one hand, they're coming out helping a lot of people. Again, nothing against these people. This is great for you. I'm super excited for you. It's awesome when you don't have to pay your bills, like I've been saying for so long now. If you can get somebody else to pay your bills or have a deferral of these payments, it's a great thing, right? It's super exciting. You don't have to pay your stuff. It's deferred for a while. That's awesome. Super cool stuff. But I guess the problem that really rubs me the wrong way is when I see these announcements, like what we just saw out of the president a short time ago, citing the COVID situation is why we need to cancel these payments and defer these payments for much longer. Okay, if that's the situation, then why are we giving the other, say, 150 million people the shaft right now when they also need financial support? Or what about the other 50 million people out there right now who maybe are in a equally bad financial situation right now, who maybe can't pay their bills or maybe don't have enough food on the table or maybe need, I don't know, a stimulus check like we've talked about so many times or ongoing monthly checks? And here we are talking about significant financial hardship if we restart payments. Excuse me, but what about all the people that are still struggling out there right now who maybe don't have payments? So you gotta get what I'm saying here? I think all of us are probably sharing in this frustration right now. It is completely talking out of two sides of our mouth. When it comes to all these announcements that they continue to make, on one side of their mouth, they say, oh, the economy's great. Everybody's doing great right now. We don't need stimulus checks. We don't need additional payments. We don't need financial relief. And on the other side of their mouth, in the other hand, they're saying, oh, we have to push out these repayment programs because there's millions of people that are going to struggle financially if we restart these programs. Does any of this make sense to anybody? Again, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's incredibly frustrating to see this, especially right here in this community where I know there are so many of you right here in this community. There's 350,000 people that are subscribed to this channel, which, by the way, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. And I'm here for you doing anything I possibly can to get some relief for you, but this is just so incredibly frustrating to me. It's exciting on one hand for those people who maybe have federal student loans, maybe the prospect of these payments being canceled or even, basically pushed out into the future indefinitely so that you never need to repay them. That's exciting. But again, being your one and only daily advocate, doing anything I possibly can to help as many people in this community as possible, it makes me come back when I hear these announcements like this and think, what about all the other people? What about the Social Security beneficiaries? What about the SSI, the retirees, the survivors beneficiaries, the VA beneficiaries? How about just the straight up low income people who are struggling so much right now to pay all their bills, to pay their utilities, to put enough food on the table, all of these things, and they continue to sit there and do absolutely nothing, right? So is it just me that's a little bit fired up right now, or is anybody else kind of feeling the same grind that I'm dealing with right now? You kind of get what I'm saying with this? It's completely contradictory as to what they're saying. One minute they're saying, you're fine, you're good, you don't need a stimulus check. And on the other hand, they're saying, well, just kidding, this other group over here, let's cancel all their debt for them. You know what I'm saying? And again, I am not saying anything bad about federal student loan borrowers. This is really exciting for you. I'm happy for you. I just wish that there was actually some consistency with what was actually coming out of the announcements with the administration and all of these Congress people, right? It simply does not make any sense. It is not consistent at all. So they're basically giving a huge win to about 43 million people. And on the other hand, they're basically giving us the shaft, the other, say, 50 million people that are struggling so incredibly badly right now, that do not have enough money, do not have enough food, do not have enough resources to get all the necessary things that they need on an ongoing monthly basis. You kind of get what I'm saying with all this? Yeah, of course you do, right? You completely get it, and you're probably sharing in this frustration with me. So, well, we got to do what we can here. So I basically want to ask you to this much. What can we do to get out to Congress? What can we do to get to the administration? Let's stick together on this. Let's come up with an idea. Let's do what we can here. Now, again, If you've been watching the videos for any length of time now, you know that I've written up multiple different letters here over the last, I don't know, year, a little over a year now. I've written up multiple different letters that we've sent out to Congress, we've sent out to the president, we've sent to all kinds of different people, calling on them to issue another stimulus check. Obviously, that hasn't gotten any action quite yet, but what can we do here? This is absolutely nuts that we're still dealing with this, and they continue to cite the COVID situation. If that's the case, if they're going to cite the COVID situation for why these repayments don't need to start right now, then you know what? I think we have a case to build right now saying, hey, you cited COVID as the reason for why these payments don't need to restart. If that's the case, then, COVID is still very much a thing in their mind. Obviously, they just used it right now as an excuse. So I think all of us should also lean on COVID as an example too for why we need additional payments, monthly payments, ongoing stimulus checks, whatever we make of it, doesn't really matter. We need something as well, right? Fair is fair, and this administration continues to come out and saying, equity, we need to worry about equity. I totally agree. Equity, if that's what they want, then maybe they should practice what they preach rather than just blowing a bunch of smoke all the time and just telling us one thing out of one side of their mouth and then on the other side, just basically doing the complete opposite. Kind of get what I'm saying? Yeah, I think all of us do, right? So anyway, I should probably wrap this up. Otherwise, I'm going to get way too fired up right now, more than I already am. But I'm just saying, I see the struggle down in the comments section. I'm here for you, and I want to do whatever I can. It makes me so frustrated to see that on one hand, they're giving help to some people, and on the other hand, they're just completely ignoring the other people who need significant support right now as well. But again, if you're a federal student loan borrower, hey, congratulations. You just got a 4-month reprieve on, well, it's actually more than that, right? April, May, June, July, and August. You just got 5 more months. So awesome. From right now anyway. Pretty cool stuff. I mean, that's awesome. It's super exciting. And hopefully they do come through and actually cancel some of this for those of you who do have these federal student loans. This is amazing. Super cool stuff. But at the other hand, we've always got to make it fair for everybody else here as well. There's a lot of people out there that are struggling right now who maybe don't have federal student loans. As a result of that, we got to continue to do whatever we can to get that relief to these people. So anyway, leave your comments and questions down below. Leave your feedback down below. Leave me some ideas down below. Let's stick together on this. Let's do what we can about this. We got to let them know that, they're all about equity. They're all about fairness, things like that. But what I'm seeing right now is simply not fair. You know what I mean? So I want to be fair to everybody here. And I feel like if they're going to give support to some people, they've got to give it to everybody, right? So anyway, let me know your feedback down below. Let's figure out some ways that we can get out to these people. Throw the hammer down on them. It's okay, but it's, to completely ignore some groups of people is not okay. So anyway, let me know your feedback. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other over 2,300 videos right here on the channel. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next update.